Tonight on the Black Channel. Have you been having trouble booking a hotel room in New York City recently? Don't look now, but I think I figured out why. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel. And I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority. Broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. Join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, man, I'm telling you, what a difference a week makes, although it doesn't make very much of a difference when you think about it right here. A couple of things in particular I would like to cover here. First and foremost, dovetailing off what we were discussing here last week, we're discussing about the fact that they're seeing all these illegals up in New York City, and the mayor of New York and the city council and the state government and everybody else is like, you know what, we didn't ask for them, we didn't expect them, but we sure is glad they're here. And now we're starting to get a little bit of an inkling of exactly how much this will cost. Coming from the New York Post, New York City could spend $300 million annually. Annually. $300 million a year to house illegal aliens in hotels. From Nolan Hicks, the Big Apple could be on the hook for more than $300 million a year to provide shelter spaces in hotels for newly arrived migrants/illegal aliens. City officials have either rented or announced plans to secure roughly 5,800 hotel rooms over the last month in response to the influx from the southern border, which quickly overwhelmed the already strained homeless shelter system. One of the largest operations is planned for the Row New York City Hotel on 8th Avenue in Midtown, where officials are looking to rent as many as 600 rooms and provide intake and other services for the recent arrivals. I mean, we've gone to a whole new... Every time black folks show up, they tell us ain't no money. Every time we show up, they say ain't no money. We ain't got it. Somebody else shows up and I'll be damned, they can find money and yank it straight up out their ears. You all are not censored, but I am. Yeah. Whenever somebody else shows up, boy, I'm talking about it's a blank check. Day one. Ain't got to negotiate. Don't need a committee. Don't need a study. Don't need a plebiscite. Don't need an election. Hell, don't even need a politician. These aren't even citizens. These are not even citizens. Who the hell's constituency are they? They're not even citizens. But they've got access to they've got access to a third of $1 billion. Just off rip, out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Amazing. So if you've been on hotels.com or Trivago or anywhere else and been trying to book a hotel room in New York City and all of a sudden you can't figure out why you can't get one, so far almost 6,000 rooms have to be secured for non-citizens, don't you know? Officials said Monday they were evaluating 4 proposals to run the site. Records show the row was previously used by city officials to provide shelter as part of a $139 million contract the Department of Homeless Services inked in January 2021, in which City Hall shelled out an average of $147.67 per day in rent. Assuming that, by the way, can you rent any hotel room in New York City for $147 damn dollars? Really? Are you serious? Are you serious? I wouldn't be surprised if this is a special damn rate here. That doesn't even sound right for New York City. Assuming that DHS has secured, they're talking about Department of Homeless Services, not Department of Homeland Security, but assuming that DHS has secured a similar rate this time around, providing the 5,800 hotel rooms could add an unexpected $312.6 million in new spending to the city budget. And that's before tallying other costs like providing food and medical care. Stop the world and let me off. That's not counting food and medical care. Now, if you're an American and you get stranded in Mexico or whatever, do you get free room, board, and medical care? Are you serious? Remember, folks, you can't leapfrog black people unless you have help. You've got to have the government step in and say, hey, we're giving you all kinds of sweetheart deals that we don't give Negroes. You have to have artificial suscitation. You've got to have artificial assistance. You can't do this. When you sit up and talk about why can they understand something, these will be the same people in 30 years talking about when they came to America, they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, they worked hard, and they did it on their own. These will be the exact same people in 20, not even 30 years, in 10 years, where they'll be telling you all that they did this all on their own. They'll tell you that they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, they worked hard, and they did it all by themselves. That's what they'll be saying in 10 years. They're going to completely leave out the story of getting across the border into Texas, getting a free charter bus to New York City, and then the city of New York housing them for however damn long. They'll totally leave that part out altogether. Altogether. You're correct, Brenda. There are a lot of the homeless people in New York City are black, if not most. Now, we ain't got nothing for you. Ain't nothing for you. No, we have to, all the services are being devoted to non-citizens. The story goes on to say, quote, providing these services will clearly be a significant cost that will require city officials to either shift funding from other programs or identify savings, said Anna Champney, the top researcher at the Citizens Budget Commission. Officials estimated Monday that more than 6,000 migrants from the southern border have arrived in New York City since the surge began in May, and said the number had jumped by as many as 2,000 in just the last few weeks. The estimated number of migrants in the Big Apple only covers those who've entered the city's shelter system, with city officials warning the number could be higher. Quote, we have a legal and moral obligation to welcome families seeking asylum, said Councilman Justin Brannon of Brooklyn, who chairs the Budget Committee. The city doesn't have to foot the bill for Ghoul Abbott's political theater. How the hell are you going to get around that? But anyway, Brandon added that the city would likely be able to receive substantial support for the costs from the Federal Emergency Management Agency's Emergency Shelter and Food Fund. So in other words, from the U.S. taxpayers, the city of New York is saying we want to take in illegals, but we want the feds, we want all of America to subsidize this $300 million. No, we don't want to, we want to go ahead and do it, but we want the whole country to subsidize this cost. We want everyone in America, including the places that chase the illegals out, we want all of them to cover the cost. He's doing a bunch of big talk, and then we ask how you're going to pay for it. Oh, we'll see if we can get the feds to pay for it. We can't pay for this ourselves. We'll see if we can get the feds to pay for it, which means the rest of the American citizens. Yeah, we're screwed up here. New York is a screwed up, wacky, crazy place. Absolutely mentally, immorally, and emotionally insane. Yeah, they come up with all kinds of crazy ass ideas, and then, well, can we get the rest of the country to foot the bill? They want to build a wall at the southern border of Mexico. I don't know. Maybe we need to build a wall at the Hudson River. I'm thinking about that right now. Maybe we need to build a wall at the Hudson River. Build the wall right there. Build that wall. We've been working on building the wrong one. We need to make a left off that New Jersey Turnpike and build another one right there. I don't know. Just thinking. The story goes on to say the post-analysis comes as City Hall has repeatedly refused to provide a projection of how much it may cost to house and provide services to the recent arrivals. Hisner has publicly asked for aid from federal authorities, but City Hall has yet to provide details about the Big Apple's request for assistance. Oh, wait a minute. It says Hisner. I think that's Hishoner. Okay. It's spelled Hizzoner, but I think the New York Post is waxing sarcastic. So when they say Hishoner, I think they're talking about the mayor. So they spelled it Hizzoner. It's not I was trying to figure out where did I miss that name at. I think they mean Hishoner. The mayor has publicly asked for aid from federal authorities, but City Hall has yet to provide details about the Big Apple's request for assistance. City Hall declined to comment on the post-cost analysis. The new expense comes as Mayor Eric Adams and the City Council continue to duke it out over cuts of $1 billion to the Department of Education, which were contained in the $101 billion municipal budget that passed, with little controversy at the time, in June. So the city is already fighting over the budget, already trying to strip $1 billion from the schools and education. But last week they was doing big ass tough talk about, hey, bring in all these illegal alien children. We'll be ready for all of them when the school year opens, while the city is saying, hey, we can't afford the school system we got now. So what in the hell does that tell you, people? What that tells you is that there are folks out there who have made it their job and said, well, you know what? We need housekeepers. We need floor sweepers. The Negroes ain't doing it. So look here, just pass the cost on to everybody else so that we can continue to have domestic servants, free labor, free sexual intimidation. There's a whole number of things that go into this. Whole bunch of folk who make money under the table at these things in all sorts of illegal ways. Whole bunch of folks who do that. There's a bunch of rich folks up there in New York who are like, hey, you need to bring in some more free and slave labor. They've got no rights. So we can get them, understand something. See, black folk know the laws in New York and they're entitled to protection from them. So black folk understand you can't sit up here and do black folk the way you do illegals. The illegals will sit there in a place, the roof is leaking, the plumbing don't work, the front door doesn't lock, and they'll sit there. They'll sit there. Black folk are not going to do that. So they would rather have 10 illegals to a room who will tolerate whatever conditions they put them in than have some black folk going to be like, oh, no. We know what the rules are. We know what the law is. You ain't going to do us like them. You ain't going to do us like them. So just understand, they've been telling us for months now, you can't get this, you can't get that. They've been telling us that for months, remember? They've been saying that for months, what we can't get, what we can't do, what we can't have, what they can't afford. Every time you turn around, they're telling black folk, well, we can't do it. They're giving you the pole mouth routine. Well, we can't do it, you know what I mean? We working on it and everything. We just can't find it, just can't make it happen. You know, we've been working on it though. We wish we could do a little bit better there, but I mean, it is what it is. Every time we turn around, it's a pole mouth damn story. Every time we show up, that's what happens. Once again, this is just like COVID, remember? I mean, the federal government found trillions of dollars right after they told black folk we can't afford reparations. You can never find the money for it. Too much to get together. No way we can make it happen. That's pipe dreaming. Government doesn't work that way. As soon as COVID showed up, oh, don't worry, we got it. Oh, don't worry, we have it. Well, what the hell here? I thought we didn't have the damn money for it. What the hell? Didn't require a committee, didn't require a vote, didn't require any other looking into it. It's like, hey, we got it. Don't worry, we got it. We got it. Mess with us, you know we got it. Well, I'll be damned. Well, that was quick. Shouldn't we have a committee and debate it? No, that would take too damn long. Let's just go ahead and get it on through here. We can do that. We can go ahead and do that. We don't have to discuss a damn thing. Don't worry about it. Just last week they were telling you about that. How in the hell can they afford it? Oh, they're going to try to get the rest of us to foot the damn bill for it. So we're going to subsidize all the rich bastards in New York who want to sit up here and engage in every type of larceny and sexual exploitation, because that's what's really going on. That's what's really happening, by the way. Quiet is kept. If don't nobody want to talk about it, I'll go ahead and mention that right there. I'll go ahead and mention that. Since nobody wants to say anything about that, I'll go ahead and mention that for you here. I'll go ahead and say that. I'll go ahead and say that because you have to understand that these folks have been doing this for a long damn time. These folks have been doing this for a long damn time. There was a story that just came out in Las Vegas. There was a story that just came out in Las Vegas. If you all hadn't heard about it here, it was a white landlord, and he had a place that he was renting for Section 8. And hell, they had the woman sign a damn sex contract. They had the woman sign a sex contract for a Section 8 housing. I mean, you're going to be like, this is unreal. There's no way in the hell. Yeah, they sure did. Go take a look at it. Las Vegas. Now, of course, it's being contested in court. But my point is, this is the way these folks think. This is the get down. This is the get down. Governor Cuomo playing grab ass with every damn body. Bill de Blasio, who never saw an X-rated theater he didn't like. Eric Adams, who spends more time at the club than City Hall, to the point that now it just made the front page of the New York Times. No, don't believe me. Eric Adams is upset about that. He just made the front damn page of the New York Times. Eric Adams going to all these damn clubs, and they're like, wait a minute, these are folk he knows, and he's hanging out, and this, that, and the other. Don't believe me? Go look it up for yourselves. Go look it up for yourselves. You have a city government run by every stripe of sexual deviant and pervert you could possibly imagine. Caligula would be right at home in the New York City Council. He'd be right at home. He wouldn't even have to change his shoes. Hell, he wouldn't have to get a driver's license. Wouldn't have to get a driver's license. All he'd have to do is just march on in. Wouldn't even have to get a driver's license. Not at all. Not at all. So just understand what you're looking at there. Just understand what you're looking at now. When you show up and they tell you what they can't do. When you show up and they tell you all these things about what you can't do and what they can't afford, and then they turn a dime, oh, we can go ahead and foot the bill on that. We'll go ahead and foot the bill on that. You notice who you're not hearing anything from? You're not hearing anything from your so-called black politicians up there. You're not hearing anything from your black politicians up there. Nothing at all. You want to know where the game is rigged? That's where the game is rigged at. That's where the game is rigged. There have literally been millions of illegal aliens who have come across the border just this year alone. And I mean millions. I was looking at one estimate that says something along the lines of 4 million. 4 million. And that is taking dead aim at black folk, because they're dropping them off primarily where black people are. Not an accident. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're trying to secure the next 100 years. And black folk got to get out of the way. We got to get black folk out of the way. I'd like to tell you that that was the end of it, but it's not. But it's not. Oh, we got much more to cover than this tonight. But I'm going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. Before I do, however, if you like what you're hearing on tonight's program, that is, you like the fact that black media is covering this, give me a thumbs up in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. We got over 3,000 people listening here live, and it seems like most of you don't like it. So if most of you don't like it, I'm going to go ahead and shut things down here in a moment. But if you like tonight's program, give me a thumbs up and hit the likes button for me. Also, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program here. So Miss Cordelia, Miss Dawson, M. Brown, Andrew L. Najee, and everyone else who's contributed to support tonight's program here on PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat also as well. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. I'm going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, boy, if you think it's bad in New York City, if you think that's the worst you were looking at, wait till you find out what's happening down there in Georgia. No, we ain't kidding. This is The Black Channel.
Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 323-407-8214. That's 323-407-8214. We aim to please, so expect 24/7 technical support, the latest premium software, instant software links delivered to your email, and PayPal's buyer's protection guarantee.
When you need a reliable influx of capital to grow your business, Spectre Capital Finance provides fast, individualized working capital loans with lines of credit to take your business to the next level. SpectreCapitalFinance.com.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap things up here, because I got things to take care of here. But folks, just in case you thought that things were going a little bit too well, and you were, well, how far could the issue here go? Well, let me tell you, if you want to know if white supremacy knows they got the best black government that money could buy, well, they're not questioning it. All the way down there in Georgia, Fani the Mammy Willis. We tried very hard here to make sure that you all understood you need to keep the DA that you had. The police were backing her as the district attorney, and now you found out why the hell they did that. What do you know? Why, as soon as she thought she had enough cover, let's go ahead and dismiss the charges against the cops who gunned down Rashard Brooks. Let's go ahead and dismiss those charges. Now, what Fani the Mammy did was she went off and handed the case off to basically a special prosecutor. She let him drop the charges when she made it clear she wasn't going to do anything in the first place. She handed it off to him and, okay, let him drop the charges. Let him dismiss the charges. See, so when she tries to come back later, she's going to come back and be like, oh, well, I wasn't the one who did it now. It was me who did it. You could have charged them. Well, you know, I felt it would be better if we handed it to a better prosecutor, you understand? But, I mean, it was me that did that. So you know how that's going to go. It ain't me who did that. You know, because I've been doing important things. I've been doing big, important things. I've been doing big, important things like locking you niggas up. I've had much more important things to do, like locking y'all up. They gonna need to build a whole damn new prison for Young Thug and the YSL crew. She has been sitting up here indicting anybody who was in the building with them. For those of you who haven't been keeping track of this, she's been indicting anybody who was in the building. They've been locking up those tour buses that bring the illegals to New York. They're going to have to turn them back around and go to Georgia and come pick up all the damn defendants. You're going to need that to come bring all the defendants to court. Hell, they're going to have to start holding the trials at Mercedes Stadium where the Falcons play. You ain't got enough seats downtown in Fulton. You don't have enough seats. Yeah, she doesn't have time to be able to put the police in prison for gunning folk down. She doesn't have the time for it, understand? She's got bigger fish to fry, don't you see? Don't you see? Oh, she's real busy. She's real busy. Got a lot going on. And by the way, she ain't throwing no damn softball charges neither. She's giving niggas straight football years. I'm talking about third stringers. You know, the guy who got 3 digits on his jersey? She's giving third string football numbers. This nigga plays for the Toronto Stampede. She giving his number out. No, don't worry about it. Never mind getting gunned down in the parking lot at McDonald's or Wendy's because you're asleep in your car. Don't worry about that right there. No, don't worry about it. And by the way, they back on the streets now. So next time the blue lights go on behind you, might be Officer Huey there. So just understand, that's how real it's gotten. That's how real it is. That's how real it is. Oh, and she ain't done yet, by the way. She ain't even done yet. Now she's running around saying, oh, well, you see, folks who sympathize with Young Thug, they out here threatening me. Well, I mean, yes, ma'am, that goes along being the district attorney. All district attorneys receive threats. You receiving threats from some damn teeny boppers with skinny jeans. And dudes wearing lipstick. Oh, no, she was like, well, I can't handle it. I can't take it. I need more security. I need to get more security. Now, you all know how this goes. What she's basically saying is she needs a bigger budget. She's saying that she needs a bigger budget. Now, you notice she didn't say she needed a bigger budget because of the police. She didn't say she needed a bigger budget because of police sympathizers. She didn't say that. Oh, no, I need more police because Young Thug and Young Skinny Jeans Life, YSL, Young Skinny Jeans Life. Young Skinny Jeans Life, you know, I need additional security because of that. One of them might try to run up on me and assault me with his loofah. They might run up on me and assault me with his Gucci bag, so you don't want that happening now, do you? Was Young Thug the one wearing the dress, by the way? Was that him? Was Young Thug the one wearing the dress? Am I wrong about that? You all can go ahead and get me straight about that if I need to be there. I'm just wondering here, I don't keep up with my rappers like that, but was Young Thug the one? Was he running around wearing a dress? Yeah, I believe Young Thug was one of them dudes running around wearing the dress. Am I correct? If Young Thug was running around wearing a dress, hit me with the dress or the bikini emoji in the chat room. If Young Thug was running around wearing a dress, hit me with the dress or the bikini emoji in the chat room. Go ahead and hit me with that. If that was him. Because I want to say he was like he had a closet full of skirts. He didn't just have one or two. He had a whole closet of them. He had like a whole damn closet of them things. Like the ladies section at Nordstrom's. I'm like, okay, dude, do you? I ain't hating, do you? But I'm just saying, the prosecutor says she's scared. The prosecutor said that your outfits are more on fleek than hers. The prosecutor says she's worried. She says she is in mortal fear. She says she's in mortal fear. So I just thought you should know, hey, man, they scared about the hem on your skirt. That you're scaring them. You're scaring them. So I'm just trying to help here. So, hey, look, I'm not disparaging anybody, but the prosecutor says she is worried. She says she's worried. So I'm just giving him a heads up. Oh, wait a minute. I just want to make sure about this. By the way, Fani the Mammy tells y'all that she is scared. Is this homophobic? I'm wondering, is this homophobic, by the way? Is this Young Thug? Young Thug, is this you? Young Thug, is this you? Everyone, do I have the right guy here? Is this him? Is this him, or is that Kid Cudi with long locks? I'm pretty sure I got Young Thug here, but by the way, is this him? Is this your man? Is this your man's? Okay, Fani the Mammy says she worried. Okay, in the chat room, they saying that's him. Positive ID. We have positive ID. Okay, well, Fani the Mammy says she's scared. Fani the Mammy says she's scared. She says she saw this, and she was like, oh, I'm worried. And in some ways, I can understand. He looking like damn me Barbara Streisand. He's looking like Barbara Streisand at the Oscars. He's looking like Celine Dion from, My Heart Will Go On. I mean, they got the halo and everything. I'd be worried too. Let me tell you. Maybe I've jumped the gun on this. Maybe I've been premature. Maybe she does need some security. Young skirt life? Is that what y'all said? Did somebody say young skirt life? Did you really say that? Young skirt life? Really? Really? Don't sit up here and mess up their trademark. It is not young skirt life. Stop it. Stop it. Youth showing legs? Is that it? Youth showing legs? All right. In any case here, he's making it do what it do. I don't know. Is she jealous? Maybe because he wears the dress better than her. Is she jealous? Am I detecting some feminine jealousy here? Some feminine rivalry? She's upset because he wears the dress better than she does. All right, fine. In any case, Fani the Mammy says she's scared, y'all. She says she needs more security, which means she needs more money and a bigger budget. That's what that means. That's what that means. That's what's going on down there. No, they ain't got time to run up on the police. They too busy trying to lock up as many black folks as they can. There's no more room in the budget or manpower to go after anybody else. None left. None left. Pi May, you said young sus life? Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Young sus life. Quit. Quit. Yeah, this is your tax dollars at work, by the way. This is your tax dollars at work. We don't have time to arrest the police for gunning you down. We ain't got time for that. We taking care of bigger stuff. We got bigger issues. Not gonna make it. Sorry, can't help you out. Oh, your tax dollars are working, all right, working and whooping your ass. That's what they're doing. So if you think that these elections don't mean anything, if y'all so worried about the damn presidential elections, you need to start paying attention to some of these local elections. Need to start paying attention to those. Got Biden and Harris talking about you need to come out and vote. I don't need to do a damn thing at the federal level. Take a look at what's happening in the damn city you live in. Take a look at what's happening right where the hell you live, man. These folks got every damn thing going on here. And please understand, she's now talking about, oh, it needs to be anti-gang. We need to go after these gangs. Okay, well, what about the gang in blue? We ain't got time for that. Really? Okay, she's making it clear. I got one target in mind over here. Now, who do you all think made that happen? Who do you all think made that occur? Because it seems to me like that's where it came from. It seems to me like that's where it came from. Like the same folk who told her, don't put no hands on the police. All of a sudden they get in office. Well, don't worry. We can take care of the rest of this over here. We're going to take care of that. That's where our focus is going to be. That's where our focus is going to be. We worried about real issues. Keep your hands off of them. Keep your hands off of them. What is she worried about Young Thug for? That he's going to outdo her at Fashion Fair? This is the rise of the black anti-black politician. That is what I'm trying to tell you tonight. You are seeing the rise of the black anti-black politician. The individual who is literally running for office, or at least once they get in office, they're running against you. You're in black cities or black enclaves, places where you need the black vote, and you are running against black people. I'll be damned. You're in so-called black enclaves, and yet they are openly running against black people in these places. That's what the hell is going on. We're running against you. Hey, we're running for office to tell you all the terrible things we're going to do to you. And all the stuff we're going to make happen to you. Oh, they're everywhere. Kim Worthy in Detroit and Fox up there in Chicago. They're everywhere now. They put these folks in the place and they knew exactly what they were doing. I was warning you about this now for years and years. After Anita Alvarez was kicked off, the first thing I did was start saying, okay, we need to keep all eyes on Kim Foxx. As soon as she got into place, okay, let me grab every nigga ever walked through Chicago. Let me grab everyone that ever walked through. That's not accidental. They know what the hell they're doing. It's not an accident. The only people who are deceived about it or were living on some sort of misconception about it, black folk. I mean, you're talking about some of your largest enclaves here, some of your largest places. Letting you know, oh, this is who we going after. We don't have time for anybody else. We don't have time for anyone else. We already got our targets lined up now. But enough from me. I want to hear what you all have to say here. So the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the blackest radio program in existence, the only one of its kind on planet Earth today. And as always, you're welcome to join us. I want to thank everyone who's contributed to support tonight's program here. So Lucretia Ballou, thank you very much for your support here on the super chat here. Malcolm Sneed, Real Number 19, Insane Optimist, thank you. And everyone else here, Bobby Williams and everybody who's contributed to support tonight's program, thank you very much for that. You all can go ahead and give us a call. If you have been instructed by my moderators that you need to call in, then that was an order, not a request. You are to be on the line. If you are not on the line, you will be banned. So you will be talking or you will be banned, whichever one you prefer. Works just fine for us either way. But the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Please keep your comments germane to tonight's program. And remember, get in, get it, and get out. So the quicker the better. We appreciate that. Already the telephone lines here are filling up very quickly. Let me get caller from area code 323. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, big brother Jason. This is brother Elijah calling out of Washington, D.C.
All right, Elijah out of D.C., what's on your mind?
Brother, excellent broadcast, and thank you for last night's broadcast, but I'll stick to tonight's broadcast. My thoughts are everywhere, but I'm just going to ask you just this one question, just to keep it brief. You was mentioning about they want the people, the dominant society want to secure their position for 100 years with the illegals and everything like that. I got a question. Do you think that they're going to succeed with everything they're doing right now?
They already have in several places. They've already succeeded in California with a couple of salt pockets, Oakland to a degree, the Bay, South Central Los Angeles. But for the most part, they've succeeded in several places. Yeah. So you can't take it for granted that everything's okay. They've succeeded in several places.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got another quick question. With this Fani Willis situation, would you agree that 100% of the blame, because you, Professor Truth and Tariq, all advocated and all campaigned, verbally for our brother Paul Howard? Do you think this is the people of Atlanta's fault for allowing this woman to come in office?
Definitely, you as a group, you have to hold that L. You got to hold that L, sir, because it's not as if the word wasn't out there. When you have a district attorney, a black district attorney, that the police have a choice between the current district attorney and somebody else, and the police jump behind the somebody else, that's your damn warning. I mean, in the year 2022, we can't make it any more clear. That's your warning. But you got to understand.
Yes, sir.
In places like Atlanta, you got a lot of the old church crowd. So I've warned you all for years now about them old niggas. They don't care about the young black folk.
Yes, sir.
They be like, oh,
yes, sir.
Understand something. As far as they're concerned, that's what the police need to be doing. The police need to be coming grabbing your young ass. Okay, well, who raised these young folk here while you was out there in the streets skirt chasing and hoeing and snorting cocaine and every damn thing else? So basically, they're using the police as a ex post facto way of neutralizing their bad parenting. But understand, a lot of them are part and parcel and 2 thumbs up on the whole damn 9 yards about it. They would like for these folks to go a hell of a lot further. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Understand something, y'all. In Georgia, Young Thug is on RICO charges, but be very aware here. That's state RICO, for those of you who didn't know. That's state RICO charges. Georgia has its own RICO law. It has its own RICO law, and Georgia isn't the only state that has its own RICO statutes. So he's not being indicted under RICO by the feds. He's being indicted under RICO by the state. Well, I'll be damned. Where are the Proud Boys? We're not indicting them. Ain't nobody yanking out the RICO for them. All these damn corrupt law enforcement agencies in Georgia, where's the RICO for them? The only time RICO gets mentioned is when we show up. The only time RICO gets mentioned is when we show up. You got a bunch of skinny jeans rappers being indicted as if they were the damn mafia. Caller from area code 804, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, yes, Mr. Black. Excellent channel. My name is Kendall from Richmond, Virginia.
Kendall from Richmond, what's on your mind?
Man, always an excellent broadcast. I try to put people on to you. My point is, I'm looking at in Richmond that the illegals are running like a business that I do. I do lawn care service, and they're running this thing. And I'm going, how you get all this new equipment and you're not even legal? And I'm just trying to just make a way. Like, dude, how you come in here? You don't even license, all of that kind of stuff. And all these RICO charges, man, you got a lot of talking points. you're an excellent broadcaster because I try to put people onto you, and they don't want to listen because it's too hardcore for them. I just want to thank you for your broadcast. I just want to tell you, dude, people are trying to inundate us and just push us out. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here. And yeah, at the state level, it's been all kinds of chicanery happening at the state level. They've been running interference for illegals now for 40 years. More than 40 years. Now, black folk getting arrested for loitering, larceny, petty drug dealing, not having a peddler's license. Black folk hit the street corner and they coming and grabbing every damn thing you got. Or if you do open a legal business, the turkey leg hut or whatever, they coming to come shut your damn thing down. These illegals aren't even supposed to be on the soil, and ain't nobody coming to grab them. Nobody's coming to grab them, and they're not even supposed to be on the soil. But if you do something, then all of a sudden, they coming to grab you. Remember, the law is the thing that folks enforce. The law is not something that's written down. The law is whatever they actually come and punish somebody over. That's the law. The law is when they actually show up. Whatever they actually show up for, that is the law. Thank you here, Financial Literacy 101. Let me get caller from area code 661. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
All right, how you doing, Jason? This is RJ from Cali, and the thing is,
RJ
Jason,
from where at in California?
Southern California.
Okay, RJ from where at in Southern California?
Victorville.
What's on your mind?
My thing, Jason, is I've supported you for years. I supported you when you first started out 10 years ago, when you had the Black Authority channel, and you used to say a lot of good things that I agree with, like black people should have their own businesses and stuff like that. But I think that over the years, you have kind of morphed into like this social justice type figure. And what I disagree with, Jason, is when you look at this situation in Atlanta has this huge spike in crime. Much of the crime is documented, is imported from the Midwest, from other areas, and you have these rappers like Lil Durk and stuff like that coming from Chicago and stuff like that, and they going down into Atlanta, committing crimes, making the city unsafe for the citizens there. And then it's like you sitting up here, you sympathizing with the criminals, and I have to stand on my square, Jason Black, and I have to go against the grain with you on that, because this DA, okay, she's doing what she can. She's doing whatever she can, all right, to try to protect the city, and that's her job to do, is to go after criminals, and what happens is, we as a black community, when we get in these situations where crime spikes and stuff like that, okay, we want to sympathize with the criminals. Okay, we look at blackness as the criminal element. If they go after the criminal element, that means that they're going after blackness. And that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. What about the law-abiding citizens who have to live in Atlanta and who have to suffer these crime rates? They don't know if their children are going to make it to school safely and stuff, because they got all these gangs and stuff there now. Okay, where's the voice for them? So that's what I got to say, Jason.
California. That's all I can say for the folks down there in Southern California. If you want to know how Kamala Harris got in office, it's old niggas like this. If you want to know who still got their lips wrapped around Joe Biden's butt cheeks in Southern California, it's old niggas like this. This is the opposition. This right here is the opposition. Right here. He's sitting there the whole damn time. I mean, got his coon boots just stomping.
Well, see, this is the thing, Jason. First off, I'm not old. I'm only 30 years old. I'm still younger than you. And
where are your
number
people
two,
from?
What's that?
Where are your people from? That voice don't sound
I'm
right.
ADOS. I'm African American.
Okay, he's
I'm
stammering and
ADOS.
stammering.
Okay,
Man.
And the thing is, Jason.
The thing is, he started stuttering and stammering when I asked where his people were from. I asked where his people were from, and he started getting like really money. What do you mean?
A black. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
I don't give a look, Jason. I don't have to prove myself to anybody. I don't care what you believe or what they believe. I only care about what I know and what I believe. And what I know is that what's going on in Atlanta right now. The woman there, who's a DA, she's doing the best that she can.
How long have you lived in Victorville?
I grew up out here my whole life.
There are no black people from Victorville. Where are your family originally from?
Okay, well, go on demographics.com and you can see how many black Americans live in Victorville.
Sir, where'd your family come from before California?
My family is from the South. My father is from Alabama. My mother is from Tennessee. And I was raised out here in California. Okay,
your mother and your father came to Tennessee came to California in the last 30 years. They came all the way from Alabama and Tennessee in the last 30 years. That doesn't make much sense.
No, here's the thing, Jason.
That doesn't make much sense, son. That doesn't make much sense. Your family came to California in 1992? Why in the world would they leave Alabama and Tennessee to come to California in 1992?
They didn't come to California in 1992. They came before that. Well, then I was born in the early 90s. But that's enough personal.
Why would they leave Alabama and Tennessee to come to California? Why?
Is this about my parents or is this about the subject at hand?
Oh, no, sir. No. I have a sneaking suspicion where your parents are originally from explains a whole lot.
Because you don't want to deal with the issue.
Okay, you know where you're not. You don't even know anything about Atlanta.
I'm not asking you about your mama and daddy.
Sir, you don't even know anything. Why are you caping for Fani Willis? You don't even know anything about Atlanta. You live in California.
The fact of the matter is, this woman is doing what she can.
How do you know you live in California? How you gonna cape for her?
That's how I know. That's how I know because I've done my research. That's how I know, Jason. You know. As intelligent of a man, what did
Fani Willis do before she got elected? What did Fani Willis do before she got elected as DA?
You're trying to get,
sir. What did Fani Willis do before she got elected as DA?
No, you're trying to get.
Sir, last time, sir. What did Fani Willis do before she got elected as DA?
Okay. It doesn't matter what she did before.
All right.
We're talking about what's going on
Thank you very much for proving my point. I've done my research. I looked into it. I is aware of what is happening here with his Jamaican flag behind him. Or Belizean flag or whatever. I know all the pertinent details. Great. Where did Fani Willis come from since you're supporting this woman so hard and heavy? Well, that don't really matter. Actually, it does matter. It sure does. Knowing that Kamala Harris was sucking up to Willie Brown in San Francisco, and then she becomes Attorney General of California, and then U.S. Senator, and now Vice President of the United States. Yeah, we need to get the paperwork. We need to check the paperwork. We got to check the paperwork. Yeah, he's going to come here and lecture us about Fani Willis and how honorable a person she is. He's here to lecture us. I've done the research. I got the data. I've looked over the research, and I have investigated the whole things. How old are you? 30 years old. Where your folks from? Alabama, Louisiana, Tennessee. Wrong song, nigga. Wrong song. Beyonce wants her lyrics back. Call from Miracle 646. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Onan from Queens.
Onan from Queens. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. So, as always, a beautiful broadcast. The brother from Victorville was funny. I don't know what he was going on about, but I'm glad that you shut him down. But just to get to this situation that's happening now in New York and D.C., I think it's ridiculous that they have all these resources for these newly immigrated people, illegal immigrants. You have all these resources ready for them, and you still are not paying foundational Black Americans any reparations. You know, it pisses me off to no end that we could be out here supporting Ukrainians and Mexicans and Guatemalans and all of these other people, and we can't take care of the foundational Black Americans that made the economic opportunity possible for these people to benefit off of. You know, I just wanted to get your word on that.
Okay. There's a lot I could say here. There's a whole lot I could say. But I'll instead say this. In New York City, people in general and Black folk in specific are constantly told about the housing that there isn't. There's no housing. Waiting lists, whole damn 9 yards. It costs $5,000 a month on average to rent something in Manhattan.
Yep.
These are for folks who live there. City employees, public works, sanitation, maintenance, fire, and law enforcement, teachers. And everybody's being told about what they can't get. We don't have it. It's not here. But I'll be damned if the city can't turn on a weekend and go and basically rent out a whole damn hotel there. The whole damn thing. Hundreds of rooms for thousands of people. And it didn't take any special legislation or nothing. Here, drive the bus over here. So what does this tell you all? These folks been lying to you the whole damn time. They can get done whatever the hell they want to get done. If they actually wanted it to happen, they can make it happen tonight. They can make it happen tonight. And it doesn't require a damn vote. It didn't have to go through the city council or nothing now, did it? Didn't have to go through the city council or nothing. Here, go ahead and book that hotel over there. I mean, as soon as the buses showed up, they didn't have to wait for a damn thing. Straight to the hotel. That tells you how damn corrupt that government is. That tells you how damn corrupt the whole damn thing is. That when you need housing, they got a bunch of damn excuses for you. Now, here's the crazy part. How you going to blame this on politics? Whose constituency are they? They're not legal. They can't vote. They can't express their displeasure over a damn thing. They're not even supposed to be here. So who's applying the pressure? Who is applying the pressure to say, hey, these are non-citizens. You better do what they want. They ain't got no leverage. Or do they?
I absolutely think they do. You know, if you look at New York City, we have communities throughout Queens. You go to Jackson Heights, Corona, Elmhurst, all the way down to Jamaica. As far as Rockaway Beach, you go out to Brooklyn, you have Canarsie and all these other Hispanic enclaves that these Mexicans and Guatemalans can migrate to and create lives out of. And they don't have to speak a lick of English while they're in the country. And meanwhile, they're constantly telling Black people that we don't have anything to pay reparations, you know, that we got to issue a bill like H.R. 40 that's authored by a woman who wouldn't even be qualifying for reparations even if the bill passed. Okay, Sheila Jackson Lee is Jamaican. She's not American. Why the hell is she in front of the legislation? But, you know, it's just something that just pisses me off when I hear coons like Eric Adams and all these other people that are just, you know, they're doing spitball fights with, who was it, Governor Greg Abbott down in Texas. You know, it's just this nonsense. You know, but I'm not going to hold up the line too much, so I'm going to land my plane there. Thank you for letting me speak and be one.
Black First, brother, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller Mary Code 267. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Sean out of Philly.
Okay, you said Sherman out of Philly?
Sean.
Okay, Sean out of Philadelphia. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so the quick question. So I actually have a relative who actually works for NYPD, and he actually said that you can't even arrest these illegal immigrants. You can't even touch them. They're driving around without driver's license, no insurance, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it just speaks to how they're willing to basically shit on Black Americans at the expense of using these immigrants for their personal gain. That's all I had to say.
I mean, now, if you're driving around Harlem and you're Black and you don't have any insurance, so basically this goes for everybody now, or is this just the illegals? I think that's something I want to know, because that reminds me of Los Angeles. Remember they did that out there in Los Angeles first. The sheriff there in Los Angeles, we're not going to impound the cars of illegals. They need them to get to work. I'll be damned. Everybody needs their car to get to work, you bastard. The folks who live here already are the ones who made it possible for these folks to even have roads to be driving on illegally. It's more of a priority for them to get to work than the Black folk who live in LA, for the Black folk who live in New York City. Whose constituency are these folks? They got to have some powerful damn allies to be non-citizens, random non-citizens. That's not allies. That's an agenda. There's an agenda at work. What they're doing right now is they are making the city too expensive for Black folk to live there. Black folk by the thousands are sitting up here saying, forget it, I'm going to move down to the Carolinas and into Georgia. And they're bringing in the replacements now. They're bringing in the replacements and subsidizing them. They're making sure they got a place to live, making sure they got food, making sure they got medical coverage. And the Black folk is like, oh, there's no place for you. You gotta go. There's no place for you. So the Black folk are leaving at the same time they're bringing in the replacements. Caller from area code 646, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Anthony from Queens, New York.
Anthony from Queens, what's on your mind?
All of this, as it was happening, I was getting angrier by the second. But then I realized that if it was, Black people could really shut this down in a second if we just stop voting for these people. These people that are, these Black politicians that are putting other constituencies, other races in front of ours. I understand that, interracial sexual access is a hell of a drug, and it has a lot of us hooked. Getting a pat on the head from all these other groups is like food and water to a lot of Black people, but we have to understand that we could literally shut this down overnight if we really wanted to, but we just don't want to grasp power. And that's the thing that is, I've realized that's, getting me more angry than anything.
And I mean, like I say, let me find out here, how old are you?
I'm 39.
You lived in New York City your whole life?
Bar 3 years where I spent in Miami.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could get the government to sit up here and spot you free room and board for a year? Wouldn't that be nice if you could do that?
Oh, absolutely. I don't like paying $2,600 to live in this apartment that I'm living in now.
Oh, the illegals are paying the grand total of zero. They're paying the grand total of nothing. And by the way, these aren't even New York illegals. These are ones just showed up from Texas and other parts unknown. They just showed up from other places there. These aren't even New York's illegals. These are just the ones that Abbott paid for to have sent up there. These aren't even New York's illegals. This is how desperate it is. This is how, understand something. You couldn't make something like this move this fast if the plan wasn't already in the works. If this wasn't already the agenda, if they didn't already anticipate this and this wasn't already part of the plan, you couldn't make something like this. When you got a situation where the buses show up and they immediately move them into a hotel like that, oh, this was always the plan. Abbott is their cover for doing so. So now they're like, hey, we can just throw the doors open. Abbott was just their cover for doing so. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller mirror code 504. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is G from New Orleans. Good
G from New Orleans. What's on your mind?
Yes, brother. I'll try and be as candid and brief as I can. That caller who called from Victorville, I'm glad you exposed him because he clearly has no clue and idea what the hell he was talking about. He doesn't even live in Atlanta and doesn't know a damn thing that Fani Willis was doing even before she became and ran for DA. And just so you know, she was an ADA for everybody there under Paul Howard. But I want to preface this with regards to her in Atlanta. You know, Atlanta, they're known for dropping that Super Bowl halftime lead. Apparently, that's not the only ball they can drop. They dropped this one when they elected this woman and didn't keep Paul Howard in because, as you pointed out, Jason, they let these officers off the hook with regards to that Rayshard Brooks killing. And that's what that whole thing was. That's why the police officers endorsed her. As far as it goes with the mayor in New York, he's just another useless clown as well. We vote these black elected officials in different cities and states. What does it matter if they're not going to do anything for black people? It's just like the district attorney where Emmett Till was killed. He puts a grand jury together, the first black DA, and he did it knowing damn well he wasn't going to bring charges against Carolyn Bryant Dunham. He didn't even need the grand jury because my understanding of Mississippi law is all you had to do was get an affidavit. That grand jury was for show. So us supporting people because they're black or because they look like us doesn't mean a damn thing. And I'll just leave on that note, brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 571. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Shakir. I'm calling from Arlington, Virginia.
All right, Shakir from Arlington. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I listened to John Henry Clark, and I listened to Claude Anderson, and I listened to you, and I listened to Tariq. And the thing is, we know what to do. We just haven't found a way to articulate it. You know, Dr. John Henry Clark said there had never been a centralized leadership for black people. Claude Anderson said we need to get our economic house in order. For all these intelligent black people running around here, I mean, it just seems like can't somebody form some sort of committee? I mean, we need some sort of unity. As far as these illegals are concerned, you know, if they wouldn't come to black neighborhoods, if they were made uncomfortable to be there. But, I mean, it's just that I know that we know what to do. We just haven't found a way to articulate it. And I understand what you said about voting in local elections, but we just have to find a way, some sort of unity. I don't, and believe me, I'm not the person to do it. I'm not the smartest guy, but I know that.
I agree. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 323. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Jonathan. I'm calling from Los Angeles.
All right, Jonathan from Los Angeles. What's on your mind?
Out here in Los Angeles, about 10 to 20,000 illegals and legals and a bunch of 18th Street gang members destroyed a $500 million bridge that links downtown Los Angeles to Boyle Heights. None of them were killed by the police. In addition, there's sideshows and wannabe Fast and the Furious is happening all over the city. That's not us doing that. That's them. That's the illegal aliens doing it. Guess what the LAPD isn't doing? They're not killing them, but they are killing us.
Good point to make, brother. Folks have been seeing on the TV all the time about the street takeovers and whatnot, and you're absolutely right. They're not using that King Alfred stuff on them. They're not using that. Very good point, though. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get a caller from area code 510. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's August from Oakland.
August from Oakland. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I was calling already. It's interesting that the guy from Victorville called when I was calling to speak on this in the first place. What I've noticed on YouTube and the social media channels are the black creators that are suddenly so pro-law enforcement with the talking points of locking people up, you know, the Charleston Whites and the even lesser-known people, Osage Jacksons, and I've seen these shows talking about how black folks are tired of this criminal element, etc., and what have you. I don't see any crime. I don't care who gets shot. I'm not supporting the police because anything that any gang members or anybody could do is nothing compared to what happens when we have police officers terrorizing our communities. So I just wanted to say, like, for the people who are tired of crime and scared of crime, get you some power tools and protect your family and stop depending on the government to protect you. all I wanted to say. Land there. Thank you. I watch the show every day. Big fan.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 229. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Rod. I'm calling from Valdosta, Georgia.
Rod from Valdosta, what's on your mind?
Yeah, the sister in Atlanta. I just want to see her have that same energy across the board. You know, is she afraid of a bunch of guys in lipstick and lace and want them locked up? What about them race soldiers with badges? Show that same energy towards them too. Give them life sentences. Come at them with the same venom as you do young black men.
You know, that's the whole point that I've been making the entire time, which is, okay, it'd be different. She was elected with the police saying, yeah, she ain't gonna do nothing to us. The police didn't support her because they thought she was gonna be even-handed. They supported her specifically because they expected her to do exactly what she's doing, which is, hey, I'm gonna enable the police and whatnot. Okay, well, that's all fun and games until they get behind you with the lights. Then all of a sudden you're going to be screaming like, wait a minute now, you ain't right here. Okay, that's the window dressing that they use. We're going to go after Young Thug and whatnot. Okay, that's the thing right there. All this, turning rappers into mafiosos, really? Everywhere you go now, they're indicting rappers. Now, we saw this back in the 90s. DAs wanting to make their political bones with a high-profile case. So let me go ahead and lock somebody up, John Gotti or whatever. So the rappers become like the new mafia. It's a place for you to go do a high profile case and to make your bones and to make a name for yourself. Now, whether or not this actually improves the landscape is a different matter, but we're seeing this all over the place. Now they're sitting up here indicting rappers as if those are mafiosos. And you know damn well better than that. So no, they helped her get elected specifically because it was going to be lopsided in this manner. So you're absolutely correct. It'd be different if she had the same energy, because remember, I was down there in Noonan, Georgia, and I know that's outside of her district, her jurisdiction necessarily, but I was down there in Noonan, Georgia. In Georgia, you have had there was that one police department where the cops were sitting up. There was one of these cops sitting up there pulling people over and claiming that they were drunk even after they passed the breathalyzer test. Still saying, well, you show all the signs of being intoxicated and arrested them. You see that? You got white supremacists running around there, white supremacist gangs. I know, I was in Noonan, Georgia, and yet Fulton County's district attorney is like, yeah, don't really have time for all that. I can't find any other organized groups of criminals. I can't find any others. That's amazing, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 732. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Sherry, and I'm calling from Harker Heights, Texas.
All right, Sherry, what's on your mind?
Yeah, a point I want to make. I'm from originally from New Jersey, and I just left. One thing about some of those politicians in New York, we all know the decision from Roe versus Wade. My thing is, when it comes to the energy on our community, why they're not lining them up, the ones that's coming over pregnant, to rush them down to the abortion clinic. So every time that it's told to us in our community that you don't have financial means to take care of children, the first option they give you, why don't you get an abortion? But you have these people coming in, they're getting carte blanche. They're replacing the people that New York is not talking about. They're exporting out. I'm a landlord in New Jersey. They had a program called the Soto program that the mayor of Newark actually had to sue New York over because they're dumping all of their low income in other places. So they're giving them housing. New Jersey is doing the same thing. Even like in Newark, some of those low income housing, they're giving them Section 8 and shipping them out to Pennsylvania. So anybody that know Jersey City, also Newark, it's turning to an extension of New York City. And what they're not doing is offering these immigrants, they're not offering them abortions. Now, Bill Clinton back in the 90s, he made sure he disincentivized for so-called what they targeted Black people from the welfare system. So my question is this: why is it a certain class of people being incentivized by the same party that pushes abortion? Never mind if you drug your kids through the jungle, you didn't have food or housing for your children, they're calling diapers or DCF on a regular citizen. So I just hope my people get a chance to review some of these politics, and they have to attack this situation in a different way. I know everybody's saying voting, but we have to focus on our personal ownership of things, because just like you mentioned, Jews and Asians, they don't have a large population for voting, but they do control pockets of wealth. We have to attack it from that angle. So that's my point.
Well, Dr. Claude Anderson said 4 decades ago that this is intended to be their new labor class, that Black people have become an obsolete labor class, and now they are going to work literally to show you that they can socially engineer and populate a new labor class right there where you are, right where you're at. It's like, well, how you going to remove all of us? Oh, we're going to jack the prices up on you. Well, your new labor class have to pay that. Wanna bet? Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. If you all wonder, I've been telling you this now for years, that you can't make it on your own as an illegal alien. You're going to have government policy come in and subsidize you. I've been saying this forever, ever since Obamacare and all the other crap. They're going to need help for that. That's the whole reason for this. Oh, we need health care for illegals. Yeah, because otherwise you can't make it in America without that. If you had to do like Black folk and actually earn it, you ain't going to be able to make it. You can't make the rent and the electric bill and the medical care. You can't do all that. You can't do all that. So Black folk looking at them like, how in the hell are they doing it? They're not. How are they able to afford to do it? They can't. There's no way this works without help. Caller from area code 319, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Adonis from Des Moines.
Adonis from Des Moines, what's on your mind?
I just wanted to make a quick couple points about Mr. Victorville. The way that he stepped into the conversation, he called himself ADOS. That makes you questionable right there. That's why your heritage is being questioned. My second point is you're telling him the answer over and over again before he even calls in. You know, like he says Black people are in gangs. Why were gangs started? You know, for protection. Protection from who? From the police. After January 6th, these police forces are investigated, found being riddled with white supremacists. You know, so the answer, like other dude from California called in, he told you the people can't be pulled over if they're illegal immigrants. All this, they say who the criminals are, and that's why it's majority Black people. And you say you've been listening for 10 years, but you're not really listening, bro. You need to listen on a little higher level than what you are, because the answers are always put out there by Jason right in front of you. You just have to be. It's critical thinking. You have to critically think.
Everybody.
The answers will be there.
Everybody who's living in their own little bubble, or they're out there polishing up their coon boots, everybody loves supporting mass incarceration for Black folk. Lock up Bill Cosby, lock up R. Kelly, no matter what the law says. Everybody latches onto that until they come for them. Now that you set the board up for them to come after you, once they come after you, then all of a sudden, hey, wait a minute now, the Constitution, I got it right now. Okay, you can't sit up here and support abrogation of your rights or a lopsided imbalance in how the law is enforced, and then get mad when they come for you. He's 30 years old. In a couple of years, when one of them Beckys he's running around with accuses him of something, he's going to be the first one in line talking about, hey, I need some help from my people over here.
Yeah, Carolyn Bryant walks because she's too old, but now George Foreman, they saying that like he raped 2 women in the 70s, and then they're going to go after him for that, you know. All I can say is be one and let's be smarter.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Look, to the celebrity class I'm going to say this right now. Y'all niggas in the celebrity class, y'all had a free ride or what you thought was a free ride for a minute now. Y'all thought it was all good. Y'all thought it was all gravy. Y'all thought it was all grand. And y'all been quiet for a long ass time. You all been quiet for a long ass time. There's never enough money. There's never enough prestige. There's never enough for you to come out and say, hey, I need to get out here and start speaking up for my people. Y'all ain't said nothing. Now they're waiting until you're old and rickety and saying, oh, let me go ahead and slap this life sentence on you. They waiting until you're old and rickety. Oh, we got this 3-decade-old case we can drop on you now. George Foreman probably like, well, I don't even remember them hoes. Oh, don't worry, they remember you. Or at least they think they remember you. They might be able to even substantiate that you did it. We don't know. In the case of Bill Cosby, y'all saw Bill Cosby got sued, indicted, and everything else. They didn't have to have the facts. He can sit there and prove that he was not there when them women said he was there. And they're like, oh, don't worry, that doesn't matter. All they have to do is make the accusation. We'll make it stick. All we need is for the women to make the accusation. Me, the DA, I'll make it stick. We just need them to make the accusation. Don't worry, we'll take care of the rest. Well, I got proof I wasn't even there. That don't matter. We'll do good. We'll make it stick. All these old entertainers who've been skinning and grinning all these damn decades. You're going on Oprah, you're going on infomercials and whatnot. You acting like the rest of black society don't exist. You're offering your own damn little bubble. They came with the damn pen to burst the bubble. They came with the pen to burst the bubble. You thought to yourself, well, I made it home free. Don't worry, I'm in my senior citizen years. Yeah, Carolyn Bryant, leave her alone. Bill Cosby, George Foreman, yeah, get your walker and your cane and your Herbalife and bring it on over here. We're going to put you on trial. Oh, no, we ain't going for no suspended sentence for you. Oh, no. We're going to charge your ass like you 22 years old. We're going to charge you like you're 22 years old. We're playing no games. Call from area code 347. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Sienna from the Bronx.
Sienna from the Bronx. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to say that I find it really ironic that black people of New York City couldn't get reparations. No one's entertaining that here. And, we can't get housing vouchers. A lot of us are facing eviction and all things like that. But Eric Adams was able to pull up $5.5 million for a universal hip-hop museum. So we got a symbolic gesture with the hip-hop museum. Now, I love rap. I love hip-hop. But really, you can find money for a museum, but you can't find money to help out the black people of the city that need rental assistance or that need, funding for their schools or need money for just so many other things other than a hip hop museum.
Well,
and I've just
that's what's worked. That's what's worked. That bogus ass African American museum in DC, I was there when they were building the damn monstrosity. That's been what works. There's a bunch of Negroes out there who love their symbolic gestures. Because here's the crazy part. It would be one thing if they were investing in something that we owned. Now that would be different. It would be different if we owned the African American Museum in DC. It'd be different if we owned the Hip Hop Museum. You don't own the Hip Hop Museum any more than you own the 9/11 Memorial. You don't own any of that. So it'd be different if they're putting millions and millions or tens of millions or hundreds of millions into things that are symbolic, things that will generate money for the city or whoever owns it, but not for us. So it'll be made, we're the market that they cater to, but we don't own any of it. That's the real slap in the damn face. It'd be different if you even put something that we own. It's not going to be that. At least these damn illegals are going to get something that directly benefits them individually.
Exactly.
At least they got that.
Exactly.
So for a while now, you've been allowing folks to sit up here and make symbolic gestures. And when folk ask me, hey, Jason, after Democrats lost in 2016, what do you think is going to happen next? This right here? No, they're not going to back off it. They're going to double down. This is the only strategy because the whole goal is to understand, don't do anything for black folk. Don't do nothing. Jason, why are they setting us aside for particular persecution? Because we are the only people fighting white supremacy. The only ones. Everybody else is trying to enable it. We're the only people, ragtag and underfunded as we may be, but we're the only people actually trying to fight it. You damn right they're going to do something as much as they can to undermine it. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get area code 404. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Jason? This is Leroy from Atlanta.
Leroy from Atlanta, what's on your mind?
Man, I'm born and raised here. I'm about to answer the question that you posed to Mr. Victorville about Fannie's claim to fame before she became the DA. The same DA that said that YSL was responsible for 80% of the crime in Atlanta. Now that they busted, you think crime down by 80%? Hell no. But what she was doing before this, she was fucking the ADA in the cheating scandal. She was prosecuting teachers who was using the No Child Left Behind statute of protocol that was dropped by George Bush. When she did that, she used the same RICO that she using against YSL. She able to convene a grand jury to go after Trump, but she can't get one for two cops who shot a brother in the back twice while he running away. This is bullshit,
I think a judge stepped in and knocked that one down for Trump too. I think that occurred. So I have to make sure about that to be certain. But you're absolutely right. When it comes to black folk, they don't just get one. It's never a lone wolf. You never by yourself. They come and grab everybody. So it should be no surprise. She cut her teeth and showed them, oh, don't worry, I grab up niggas by the truckload.
She recused herself from the case before she took it by taking money from the police union, contributing to her campaign. And Paul Howard ain't no better. He wouldn't prosecute the cops who killed Miss Johnston in her house, and she was fucking 93 years old. 93 at home. In her bed in the worst part of town, bruh. Yeah, she shot at them. That's what you're going to do on the west side. Somebody busting in your door and don't identify themselves. That's what you're going to get. So y'all get ready.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. We appreciate that. Like I say, definitely when you see the police coalesce behind somebody, that's your warning sign. That's your warning sign. These folks know what they're doing here. We can't afford to be naive about this. Call from area code 708. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Sandra from Chicago.
Sandra from Chicago. What's on your mind?
Thank you for your important topics you present. For the immigrants in New York, when the people immigrate over here and they give them a place to live, when they go find employment, don't they need Social Security cards and birth certificates to get a job? And then I also noticed
they're supposed to, but in their de facto illegal state, no. But you're absolutely right. They're supposed to. You've got all kinds of federal laws they're supposed to do that, but no, they're just outright ignoring it. And that's amazing. See, if black folk ignore the law and just say, well, we're just not going to follow it, somebody coming to see you. If you black and you say, I'm just going to ignore the law, we just ain't going to enforce it, somebody's coming to see you. These other folk here can do that and ain't nobody coming to see them.
I noticed that when the migrants come and it'll bring like the Department of Motor Vehicles, like to get IDs and driver's license or stream of income. But I noticed that the people that's migrants don't look like when they are forced to ICE people. You know how ICE did the sweep at the chicken plants and all that? Those people don't look like, under the ICE people. So when you say migrant, I'm wondering, first of all, how they getting over here to monkeypox, like a whole pandemic, how is they still able to come over here by the herd? And I also wonder, so I see that the people don't look like, where did they come from? Like where they don't look like, I wonder where these people come from and how did they find where to go get the people from? How did they know they was even eligible? How did they round these people up to even bring them here? Like, how did they get selected?
Well, I mean, they came across the
what was
border
the
from
point of
Texas. They came across the border from Texas, and basically, they're grabbing pretty much most of the white ones there. I mean, it's like I said, it's not a bunch of Haitians they dropping off, but they're grabbing them and dropping them off up there. Hell, the Haitians are getting turned around the damn fence. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code. What is this? Now we're spinning over here. 908. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Omar calling from Trenton.
Omar from Trenton. What's on your mind?
Yeah, this is to Mr. Victorville in California. He needs to worry about the gangs in Southern California, especially the South Central area, because MS-13 is running ragged down in Southern LA, killing and shooting black people like it's nothing down there. Hell, they just they had a big bust where they had a Hispanic gang out there, and they said it was one of the biggest hate groups in California. Okay, and that's the situation I really think they really want. They want this shit that's happening in South Central LA to go all over the nation with low intensity ethnic wars between basically the Hispanics and us. That way we can't concentrate on them, and they don't have to worry about an uprising because you're busy fighting the dang-on those Tennessee Civil War the whole damn time with this other buffer group. We can just go ahead and do that and lay back while you fools are fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's really what they really want. You know what I'm trying to say? And you know, as far as other gangs, man, worry about the gangs in your area. Don't worry about no gangs all the way in Atlanta. Those Legos 13 fools can shoot you any damn time.
That's the point I made for him. He's all the way in California acting like he is the expert on what's going on in Atlanta. Dude, you better worry about where you at right there. But just understand that's the coon intellect at work. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get area code 816. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi. Hello, everybody. Hi, Jason. This is Moonrise calling from Kansas City, Missouri.
Hi, Moonrise from Kansas City. What's on your mind?
So, Jason, I have been listening to you for a very long time, and this is one of my rare nights off, so I'm going to try to make it quick. I can't help but think that our conversation, one of the last times I spoke with you about what white society, how they're crushing us FBA, how they're trying to get rid of us out of the country that our ancestors built and how we continue to build, how they're really trying to get rid of us. And so 400,000 abortions a year that they are okaying for black women to abort our babies, and on top of everything else. So to the caller that just spoke before, okay, so here in Kansas City, we have a huge, huge influx of immigrants from Honduras, from Mexico, from Somalia, from all these different places. They're giving them apartments. They're giving them hundreds of dollars in food stamps every month. They're giving them, if they have cars, they give them gas cards. I mean, they are really hooking these people up. And so to my point, they have Mexican gangs. They have MS-13 from California to New York to all cities in between. It's really bad here. And these people, they are buffering them over us. So you got MS-13. They are, and then the FBI compared them to the mafia of the Italians and the Irish gangs of the 1930s and 40s. Said they're much worse than they are, because not only are they sophisticated as far as selling drugs, they are into the sex trade. They are holding women against their will, and they're trading them in the sex trade. Okay, they are guns. They're selling guns, drugs. They are sophisticated in as far as technology, crypto technology. They're killing whole families. So this is who they're worried about. They're worried about black people. You can't even rap. You have RICO charges. Rappers have RICO charges, and we got police officers murdering unarmed black people.
I mean, think about this for a moment. They're indicting rappers. They're indicting rappers for what they said in a song. Got that. But they're not indicting police for what they said on Facebook or Twitter. Think about that for a few moments, everyone. If your album allegedly shows intent or a collusion or corroboration, by the way, they're indicting folk for what they're saying in their songs. They're not indicting anybody for what they put on Facebook or Twitter, at least as long as they go after us. Now, if you're black, that can actually go against you. But for everyone else, think about that for a few moments. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Now, let me get area code 501. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, it's Khalil from Baltimore. I just want to speak on the fact that I feel like as Black America, we underestimate how much white people really hate us. Like they're like, to speak to the New York situation. I feel as if that museum is gonna be Jamaican based and based in the island people who contributed, and they're going to try and erase all of Black history out of the area eventually.
Well, I don't think of it in those terms. I think that you're going to have a museum that eventually is going to be filled with Vanilla Ice and Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly.
No, I absolutely agree. You see how they're trying to add the Afro-Latino section in the DC African American Museum. There ain't gonna be no Black people in the hip hop museum if it was up to them. The only Black person would be Kanye, Tupac.
Well, they'll be in the back of the damn place. They'll be like in a Legends corner, and then everything you see in the front door will be white folk. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Now, let me get caller from area code 323. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller from area code 323 has been abducted. Caller from area code 832, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Jason Black? This is Jared out of Houston, Texas.
Jared out of Houston, what's on your mind?
You know what, man? This is sad, man, because over here in Houston, where I'm at, just like in New York, they're spending a lot of money on these gentrification areas. And what I do notice is that Black people aren't participating in the areas. They're gentrifying the areas. What I've seen is illegals are actually moving into these areas, and Black people are just looking like they're blind to what's going on. They're listening to what the Democrats say, that there's some coalition, which there's not a coalition. But Black people have to get focused on what we have to do in order to rebuild our neighborhoods. I'm in Houston, Texas. We spent almost 70% of our budget on police enforcement. Now, when the time comes, the police are going to be helping them push us out. So my whole issue with the black community is that we have to get back. I would say get back to the basics, because we are not focused on what we need to get, and we're just going along with the Democratic Party, and we're going to end up losing what's ours that we have today.
I mean, on the one hand, yes, those cities, the city and stuff like that, what Black folk need to focus on is certainly an issue. On the other hand, you got the damn turkey leg hut. So they're showing through their actions and whatnot that Black folk get targeted in these areas. Black folk are catching it from all sides in these areas. So it's more important than ever to be on code. But don't be deceived. It's not just coming from one direction. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller area code 248. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Andrea. I'm calling from basically Detroit, Michigan.
Andrea from Detroit, what's on your mind?
Well, I don't know how wise this was, but I saw a story about Fani, whatever her name is, Willis, a couple months ago, and I got really upset. So I went on her Facebook, and I was trying to do a comment, in her timeline, but it wouldn't let me, so I had to go into her DM. And I basically said what you said, like, you're indicting him on what he said. You can't even prove that he wrote what the lyrics that he wrote. And I was like, I can't wait till he sues your ass. I didn't say it like that, but basically, I'm paraphrasing, but I said, I can't wait till he sues your ass for prosecutorial misconduct. And I was like, how do you sleep at night? You're moving Rashard Brooks, the other DA, already charged him. Like, that went to hell. Like, why would you even need to send it to another prosecutor? And then she invited me to come to, thinking I was a man, I guess, invited me to come down to Atlanta because she said something about sir. And I was like, I'm a woman and I will come down there. But I never threatened her or anything. But as soon as we were done with that, she said, like, she was being targeted and threatened and all this heightened security. And I was like, bitch, that wasn't for me. So excuse my French. I'm sorry. So, and I want to go down there and see her to confront her about her coonery, because I said, ask Jackie Willis or Wilson or whatever that woman is in L.A. I was like, see how cooning did for her. She got voted the hell on out of there. So I don't know. I guess I'm just asking: is she trying to set me up if I go down to Atlanta and confront her per her request, or should I not have said anything at all?
Well, certainly, if you do have something to say, the less documentation, the better, so people don't get to accuse you of things. But you did make a very good point, which is, they're showing how easy it is for them to make a case if they want to. If they want to make a case, all this bull jiving and hemming and hawing that they do, and we don't have enough evidence and whatnot, all you had to do is make a damn song. And they're like, oh, don't worry, we heard one line in here. You didn't name any specific person, place, or whatever, but that's circumstantial enough for us right there. Think about that for a few moments. They get the things done that they want to get done. But no, I would not go down there unless she sends you an RSVP. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller area code 443. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller from area code 443 has been abducted. Caller from area code 872. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, caller from area code 872 is being mugged. Caller from area code 416, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, this one's got his speakers
Jason,
on.
This is Joe from Toronto.
Joe from Toronto, what's on your mind? You have your speakers on,
Man,
Joe. Turn off your speakers, sir. Last try.
When you look into the future, it is 1% increase for the black population in the United States, all the way up to 2060. At the same period, you got the Hispanic population is going to grow up 9%, from 18 to 28%. Asian population 6% to 9%. The black population basically is standing still. And you don't need a whole lot of population to have power. As you could see, the Asian population is small, but they got a lot of power because they have economic power. So the only way black people are going to realize their potential, apart from getting reparations, which of course is deserved, is to build wealth. It's got to be all about wealth. The wealth is the currency of the United States, of all Western capitalist countries. We got to focus. It's all about wealth building.
Well, definitely you need to be on code if you're going to do that as well. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Being on code is a very important factor. Let me get caller from area code 928. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Bruce from Parker, Arizona.
Bruce from Parker, Arizona. What's on your mind?
I have a question for you. Did the vice president go down to South America and have talks with all of those people? I think she went down there and, they started coming. That's what I think. What do you think?
I think it's government policy. Under Trump, nobody was coming in there like that. Now, Biden has let it be known that he's going to be the guy who displaces black folk here. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller from area code 872. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
You're on live. What is
Hello?
your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, I know I'm Mr. Jason Black. Oh, I'm in the state of Indiana. Born and raised in Chicago.
What is
and
your
I pay attention to
name?
Chicago politics, and I tell my friends, oh, my name is Ronald Jones, sir. I'm sorry.
All right, Ronald, what's on your mind?
Like I said, I'm looking at this $300 million thing, and I got a couple of friends in Chicago, and I asked them, I said, what if they do that in Chicago? They don't seem to think that will affect them. I said, well, you know what? All these democratically ran cities and states that democratically control, designate these sanctuary, they're doing that to get rid of you. Okay, $300 million, that ain't nothing to sneeze. So they can come up with money for that, but they ain't doing nothing for black people. And so I told him, I said, look, man, if they ain't putting an agenda on the table for you, why do you vote for them? Just because? No. That time is over. So a guy gonna tell me, yeah, rednecks. I said, these rednecks, guess what? They ain't throwing that money away. Okay? They ain't throwing that money away. The programs they got out here, the resources, I came out and go to one of these trade schools that they don't have in Chicago. That's why I came out here. They got all these different trade schools out here, because when you see these tradesmen working, you don't see number whites and Mexicans. I told my son, get up in there and get this trade. You can make your $150,000 a year. And he did it.
Well, definitely, like I say, I don't think they're bringing in these illegals for the minority coalition. I doubt that. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. No, I don't think they're bringing them in to participate in the minority coalition. I'm almost certain that that's not the case. Almost certain it's not the case. I'm almost sure they're bringing them over for some other reason. And it won't be to participate in our minority coalition. That won't be happening. That won't be happening. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. I want you all to understand you're witnessing the rise of the black, anti-black politician. You're witnessing the rise of it. It's not a joke. It's not a game. They're letting you know what they're about. And going forward, when people try to sit up here and bully you into voting one way or another and not having an agenda, this is what it leads to. These folk got the money and the resources when they want to, so don't let anybody tell you what they cannot do. What they're telling you, we can't do it for y'all. Okay, then in that case, when it's time to show up and vote, we can't do it for you. Simple as that. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Definitely click that red subscribe button, click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every weekend. We'll be very glad to have you. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, you want to go there and check out our groundbreaking, best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified Race War, all available on DVD and on Amazon. Go to blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. I want to thank all of you for joining us here tonight. Thank you to everyone who's contributed by PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. And thank you to all of you who tuned in here live. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and sisters from around the world, remember, black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.